You probably think animals are pretty clean. They groom themselves, they bathe in rivers, they seem to have it together. Well, that's a lie. Some animals have hygiene habits so disgusting that you'll never look at them the same way again. We're talking about creatures that eat their own waste, bathe in urine, and have mating rituals that involve literal feces. Once you learn these facts, they're stuck in your brain forever. Number 1. Koalas eat their mother's poop. Koalas seem cute until you learn about pap. Baby koalas can't digest eucalyptus leaves when they're born because the leaves are toxic and require special gut bacteria to break down. So the mother produces a substance called pap, which is basically pre-digested feces, and the baby koala eats it directly from her anus for weeks. This fecal smoothie contains all the bacteria the baby needs to eventually eat eucalyptus on its own. The babies stick their heads into their mother's cloaca and consume this paste multiple times a day. Adult koalas also have some of the smallest brain-to-body ratios of any mammal because eucalyptus provides almost no nutrition. So they're essentially running on empty while eating literal crap to survive. The entire species is held together by poop consumption and evolutionary stubbornness. Number 2. Hippos spray feces to mark territory. Hippos have a tail designed specifically for flinging their own excrement. When a hippo defecates, it rapidly spins its tail like a propeller, creating a fecal spray that can reach distances of up to 10 feet. They do this to mark their territory along riverbanks, and the more dominant the male, the more aggressively he spreads his waste. Other hippos can tell who owns what territory based on the scent and distribution of the poop spray. Bulls will even have spinning contests where they face each other and spray feces back and forth as a dominance display. The tail itself is flattened specifically for this purpose. Female hippos are attracted to males who can fling their feces the farthest, making this disgusting behavior a sexual selection trait. Zoo hippos do this too, so if you've ever stood near a hippo enclosure, you've probably been in the splash zone without realizing it. Number 3. Vultures vomit and urinate on themselves. Vultures eat rotting carcasses full of bacteria, and their defense mechanism is to make themselves even more disgusting. When threatened, a vulture will projectile vomit partially digested carrion at predators. The vomit is so acidic and foul-smelling that most animals immediately back off. If that doesn't work, vultures also practice urohydrosis, which means they deliberately urinate and defecate on their own legs. The uric acid in their waste actually kills bacteria they've picked up from walking around on dead animals. So they're essentially disinfecting themselves with their own pee. This makes their legs permanently white and crusty. Turkey vultures, in particular, will empty their entire digestive tract if they feel threatened, covering themselves in a mixture of urine, feces, and rotten meat slurry. The smell is bad enough to make humans vomit, which I guess makes it effective. Number 4. Sea cucumbers breathe through their anus. Sea cucumbers are bottom feeders that inhale and exhale water through their anus to extract oxygen. They have a specialized respiratory tree inside their body cavity that branches off from their cloaca. Water gets pumped in and out of their butt up to 20 times per hour. Some small fish and crabs have figured this out and will actually live inside the sea cucumber's anus, swimming in and out as it breathes. The pearlfish is the most famous example. It waits for the sea cucumber to open its anus to breathe, then swims headfirst into the respiratory cavity and lives there, sometimes eating the sea cucumber's internal organs while it's inside. The sea cucumber can't do anything about it. When the pearlfish wants to leave, it just waits for the next exhale and swims back out. Multiple pearlfish can occupy the same sea cucumber anus, turning it into a tiny underwater apartment complex. Number 5. Rabbits eat their own droppings. Rabbits produce 2 types of feces, and they eat one of them. The regular hard pellets you see are the ones they leave alone. But they also produce cecotropes, which are soft, dark, nutrient-rich droppings that come directly from the cecum. Rabbits eat these straight from their own anus, usually at night. And if you own a rabbit, you've probably seen it bend down and pluck them directly from the source. These cecotropes contain vitamins, proteins, and beneficial bacteria that didn't get absorbed the first time through. A rabbit's digestive system is so inefficient that they have to eat their food twice to get enough nutrition. If you prevent a rabbit from eating its cecotropes, it will become malnourished and sick. Pet rabbits do this constantly, so every time you see a cute bunny video, there's a decent chance that rabbit has recently eaten its own poop. Number 6. Penguins shoot feces at high velocity. Penguins can't afford to leave their eggs unattended in Antarctica, so they've evolved to projectile defecate while sitting on their nests. They build up pressure in their cloaca and launch their feces up to 4 feet away from their bodies. Scientists have actually studied the physics of penguin poop trajectories and calculated that the internal pressure reaches up to 60 kilopascals. The feces shoot out at high velocity to keep the nest area clean. But this means penguin colonies are surrounded by rings of frozen excrement. Chinstrap and Adelie penguins are particularly powerful shooters. The penguin doesn't even need to stand up or move. It just lifts its tail and fires. If you visit a penguin colony, the ground around the nest is covered in radiating splatter patterns that look like crime scenes. The smell of a penguin colony can be detected from miles away because of the sheer volume of accumulated fecal matter. Number 7. Capuchin monkeys wash with urine. Capuchin monkeys deliberately urinate on their hands and feet, then rub it all over their bodies. They do this regularly, sometimes multiple times a day. Scientists believe they do it for several reasons, including cooling down in hot weather, marking their scent, and possibly even as a primitive form of mosquito repellent, since the ammonia in urine might deter insects. Male capuchins also pee on their hands before trying to mate, presumably because the scent is attractive to females. They'll cup their hands, urinate into them, and then wipe it across their fur like cologne. Capuchins in captivity do this just as much as wild ones, so zoo visitors regularly watch monkeys giving themselves urine baths. The behavior is so common that researchers consider it a normal part of capuchin hygiene. Number 8. Warthogs kneel in their own filth. Warthogs have rough, calloused knees because they spend so much time kneeling while they eat. They drop down onto their front knees to graze on short grasses and roots, and they'll stay in this position for hours. The problem is that warthogs also wallow in mud to cool off and protect their skin from the sun, so their kneeling pads are constantly caked with dried mud, feces, and whatever else is on the ground. The calluses become several inches thick over time. When warthogs sleep, they back into burrows rear first, so they can escape quickly if threatened, which means they drag their filthy bodies through tight underground spaces. These burrows get reused and become layered with years of accumulated grime. Warthogs also have facial warts that are actually thickened skin to protect their faces during fights. But the warts collect dirt and parasites, making their faces look perpetually diseased. Animals don't have soap, running water, or any concept of cleanliness the way humans understand it. What looks disgusting to us is just survival to them. Eating feces passes on crucial bacteria, spraying waste marks territory, and bathing in urine might actually be practical. Nature doesn't care about being gross. And as always, I love you guys.